Men are going for females that look good, and the women are going for the men with the money. Like, if a man don't have no money, then he don't have no value. So excited to be back on my channel. Like, it's not even, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. I know it's been so long since I've been on this channel, but like, y'all, I have not been like motivated. I have been, just trying to figure out a lot of things right now. Today, as you guys can tell by the title, the topic that we're going to be talking about today, this is some tea. We about to get into this. Dating in 2022 is like, it's like pulling teeth. Like, it's hard to find a genuine partner. It's hard to find like real genuine love, like somebody that truly loves you and doesn't just love you. We're gonna get into it. So I want to talk about some of the things, like the reality of dating in 2022, and like why is it so hard to find a good partner in 2022. And like, y'all can let me know in the comments what y'all think about what I think, but I know what I'm saying. It's literally facts. Like, we see it every day. But like, okay, so the first thing I want to get into, men are going for females that look good, and the women are going for the men with the money. I want to talk about the men first. Men like women who can boost their ego and make their image look good, like for their image. Like, for example, Lil Durk in India. I feel like he loves her, but it's really all about the way that she make him look. Like, if that makes sense. Like, men love to have like beautiful women by their side because it, like I said, it boosts their ego. So like, men go for women who look very attractive, and that's something that I realized. That's why, like, you got to be really careful when you're like an attractive person, because sometimes like people just want you because they see you look good, and it's just, it's so sad. I wrote down some points that I want to talk about. We really have to stop looking at relationships in a transactional way. Like, men want women for looks because they can boost their ego. That's the truth. I'm really starting to realize looks really does not matter. Like, really, the outside really does not compare to what's on the inside. You know what I'm saying? So if men stop going for looks, maybe they can find somebody that genuinely love and care about them, like genuinely, instead of going for how a female just look like, oh, I want the baddest girl because you know what, she look good, and you know what I'm saying, and you really don't even know much about her, or you really don't even like her for real, but you only going for her because she's beautiful. And I feel like that's why a lot of our relationships be failing as well. Men, you get into relationships and they fail because you're not going for a woman that's actually like has a nice, that's actually like a good person. You're going for somebody that looks good. You continue to live your life like that and be like that, then you're never going to find genuine love. Like, and that's the honest truth. But let's get into women are going for the men with the money. I truly feel like, I'm a female myself, and I honestly, I done said in one of my videos where, oh, I want a man with money. Like, and now that I had done some like self-reflecting, and I'm really realizing a man with money is not everything. Like, it's really not. Like, let's be honest. Like, I feel like a lot of music that we listen to, a lot of, things that we see in this culture today, and we see, on social media, it has a role on why we think the way that we do. What I'm realizing is that, we have to get out of this rich ass nigga scammer hood. We have to get out of that mindset, like, because that's why our generation is failing when it comes to love. Like, because it's so transactional. It's like, if a man don't have no money, then he don't have no value, and that's not true. Like, that's really not true. You have to look at somebody for who they are as a person, and that's what I'm realizing. Like, you have to love somebody truly who they are as a person, like, not just saying like, excuse the dog, oh, his ghetto is fucking his house. And I feel like we lack morals. We just lack a lot of stuff that we really need, men and women, like, honestly. So men need to stop going for women just because they look good, and women need to stop going for men just because they have money, because looks can be very deceiving, and money does not make him the best, or he's just that because he has money. Trust me. Okay, the next thing we're gonna talk about is the hookup culture. The hookup culture is like really, really toxic. I feel like, our generation, like, we glorify and glamorize a lot of things that's just not okay. Like, for example, sneaky links. All of these toxic things that we glamorize is not good, like sex. The hookup culture is basically about sex, like just doing what you wanted, and not being truthful, not being honest, You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a lot of toxic things. And what people don't understand about sex, sex creates soul ties. So you have to be very careful who you lay down with. People energy, when you sleep with somebody, when you're sleeping with somebody, you're connecting with that person on a different level, whether you want to believe it or not. People be like, oh, I can just have sex and it just be sex. No. Some notes that I took down about the hookup culture. Sex is very powerful and soul ties are very real. I think people don't really pay attention to how important it is to wait until you're married to have sex. I know I didn't do that, but I don't promote to have sex. Like, that's not something that I'm promoting or that I'm like telling girls, oh, you should do it because, you know, because no, for real, like me growing up into like becoming a woman, I'm realizing like if I can go back in time, I probably would have waited to have sex. You're opening so many doors once you do that, like, and people don't understand how like serious it is. And it's so sad how this hookup culture just, you know, like, oh, I can just do this and not give a fuck about it. Like, a real person that has real emotions, real feelings, which we all have because we all human beings, even though people try to act like they don't, but we all have them. It's going to affect you. It's really going to affect you. If you just going out giving your private area to just anybody and you giving your body, your soul to anybody, then you're not really worth anything. And that's going to make you feel just like that. You're worthless. Like, that's why you have to be very, very careful. And if you do have sex before you're married, make sure it's by somebody that truly loves you, especially if you're doing unprotected sex. Make sure the person that you're doing it with is somebody that really respects you, really values you, and really love and care about you for real, and genuinely love you. Put your health at risk or anything like that. Because like, you can say wait to sex to marriage, but people is really not doing that no more, because we live in a generation where it's like a thing to just be fucking all the time. Like, everybody want to have sex, everybody want to do all these. Our generation is like very sexual, over sexual as fuck. That's just what it is. So we have to, you know what I'm saying, keep yourself protected, like, for real. And like, it's really toxic. Like, it's the devil. It's toxic as fuck. And I just wish we all just come out of this hole that we're digging for ourselves, and we follow more of what God wants us to do. Like, if I can go back in time, I promise you I will. Like, it's not that I regret doing it with who I did it with. No, you know, everything happens for a reason. But it's just like, now that I'm older, I'm like, I could have waited. Like, I really could have waited for this. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could have waited. And that's how like it needs to be. Like, it's no rush. If you're a virgin and you're watching this video, it's really no rush. This is the devil, y'all. And also another thing I want to talk about, the hookup culture. You can end up like a single parent just by one night of fun. You know what I'm saying? A single mom by yourself raising a child at a young age. And that's happening a lot nowadays. We have a lot of young parents. And I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, something is like it's a bad thing, but that's not really an ideal thing that you should want at a young age. Like, and I feel like it's being like glamorized, glorified, becoming a young mom, because it's like so many girls like see other girls around them having kids at a young age, taking pictures for Instagram, posting with their baby, like that shit is easy. No, I don't watch my mom do it with 4 kids. I know it's not easy to raise a child. It takes a village. And if you don't have the right partner to raise a child, then the child gonna probably grow up and do the same thing as you doing. Like, that's why it's very important that you like wait. It's no rush. This hookup culture that y'all seeing on social media, don't even like, that shit needs to go. Like, but it's not going nowhere. So you have to, as an individual person, you have to want change for yourself. You have to want better for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the hookup culture is very toxic as fuck. And it's like, you know, the goal is not to be a single mom, but you know, it's becoming a thing where it's like 9 times out of 10, you have a child with somebody, you're not going to be with that person forever. You're not. And it's like, just hold on, just wait a minute. And kids are blessings, but at the same time, it's just like, you have to be careful when you're having sex. You have to be careful, because bringing a child into a situation they didn't ask to be in, and it becomes like very, you know, toxic and stuff like that, it's only affecting the child. So you have to be mindful, like, of what you're doing and who you're doing it with. I don't believe in this hookup culture, honestly. I'm just over it, like, for real, y'all. I'm a lover girl, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be living like a hot girl. That's not who I am. I can portray to be that, but that's not who I am. And I don't want to be that anymore. Like, I don't want to even portray to be that ever again. You know, I might listen to the music here and there, like, but honestly, the music we listen to also plays a role. So you just got to be mindful about what you like taking in. You got to be very, very, very mindful. Oh, let's talk about this one. Everybody think they have options. Am I lying? Everybody think they have options because of Instagram. Like, it's crazy. Like, everybody think they got options, and really the options are not optioning. I said this before and I'm going to say it again. The options that we think we have are not really options. A lot of these, like, I'm speaking from a woman perspective, a lot of these men that we be thinking that we have all these options and shit like that, they really only want what they see on Instagram. Instagram is just pictures. Like, that's not who you truly are. For example, when girls be like, all I gotta do is post a picture and I have all my niggas back. It's just like, girl, you know, us girls be saying that, and it's really like, that's really not a flex. Like, for real, it's really not a flex, honestly, because it's not good options. Let's be real. It's really not good options. These are not men that you can really see yourself with, like, you know, years and years from now, like getting married and all of that. It's really not a flex when you really think about it. Like, Instagram made it very easy for everybody to feel like they have options. Like, it's somebody for everybody out here, but like, social media has everybody thinking they have options. So people really don't feel like they have to try or make effort anymore like they used to. That's the issue. Like, men feel like they don't have to try as hard. Women don't feel like they just, oh, I'm just pretty. And men just feel like they just don't have to do shit because all they gotta do is DM you and there it goes. Reality, unfortunately, that we have nowadays. We really need to daddy because a lot of this shit is whack. And it's so hard to be in a relationship nowadays because of that. Like, imagine being with somebody and then they keep trying to like threaten you. Oh, I get niggas. Oh, I do this, I do that. Like, it's corny. Like, it's really corny. And then you making your partner feel less because it's like you sitting here acting like, which everybody do have options. Let's be real. But it's like, you're in a relationship with a good person. You don't want to make that person feel bad because of what niggas DMing you or like what females harden your story. Like, I don't understand like why people get excited about shit like that. Like, that shit is lame as fuck. Like, to me, I done grew out of that. I done been there, done that, thinking every nigga that talks to me, oh yeah, I got niggas. These niggas really not niggas that I can see myself with in the future. So it's just like, what I'm realizing, me growing up into like this woman that I'm becoming, what I'm realizing is, yeah, this is not a flex. It's really not. It's not a flex. It's really not. Men, they like what they see on Instagram, but I'm much more than an Instagram picture. I'm much more than an Instagram post. I want somebody to, you know, everybody, more of the story, everybody think they got options. And really the options are not really good options. You want somebody, all of us genuinely want love. Like, in the end, that's all we want, somebody to love us for who we truly are. You just want somebody that just know our worth and we can be happy with and have fun times with. And it doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be hard to love this person. Like, that, I feel like that's what we all want. And we all deserve it. But we have to start living our lives right, because you have to love yourself first so that you can find somebody who love themselves just as much as you love yourself, and y'all can really pour into each other. Because when you love yourself, it's a whole different ball game, and it takes like some work to get there. And I feel like a lot of us need healing. A lot of us need a lot of healing. That's the real tea. That's the real gag. We all need a lot of healing. So yeah, we tend to like compare our relationships to what we see on social media, or compare your relationship to anybody. Like, comparing your relationship, that's the worst thing. Comparison, it just steals your joy. Comparing your relationship to somebody else's relationship is a terrible thing to do. Like, and I used to be guilty of that. I used to do that, and it's just not a good thing. Like, you can really drain a relationship and break a relationship down by doing that, and that is not good. And I feel like that's another reason why a lot of our relationships don't work in 2022. because we see what we see on Instagram, something on Instagram, and we just be like, oh, I want this, and I want my boyfriend to do this, I want it. And you really can have a good boyfriend, but just because he's not doing what you seen on Instagram, you gonna like drain him and break him down because he's not doing what you seen on Instagram. That is not good. And that's something that I realized, like, and I was guilty of this as well. Like, it's really not good to do that. Like, you should appreciate what you have, like, because that's the thing. That goes back into my last, what I was just talking about, like, options, like thinking that somebody out there, which it will, somebody, you know, it's always somebody that will, but would that person love you like this person love you? Just because this person might not be getting you a car, or might not be getting you bags and doing all of this for you, that doesn't mean anything. Like, materialistic, because really that's what we be comparing our relationships to. It really doesn't mean anything. Like, and I'm not saying like you can't show love by sometimes doing something nice for your significant other, but you should appreciate what you have, because it's a drought in like genuine love. Like, a lot of people out here, they be in relationships and they're not even happy with the person they with. They're with the person they with because what? They need a place to lay their head, in survival mode. They don't got nowhere else to go, and they just with this person. Like, they're really unhappy. You need to appreciate. What I'm realizing is that you have to appreciate what you have, and you don't have to compromise anything, but appreciate it. Like, and if you're truly unhappy, then yeah, you should just let that person go and move on. But like, honestly, we have to stop comparing our relationships to what we see on social media, because it's not good for you. And if you keep doing that, what I realized, you're never going to be happy with somebody. That's why like I had to like take a step back from social media, and I feel like that's the reason why like my mindset is like more free, because I'm not trapped in this social media world no more. Like, I'm really like, I really kind of free myself from that. I get on there, but I jump off. Like, I never really be on there. I delete the app. I'm stay deactivating my Instagram, because I don't want to do the things that I used to do anymore. I don't want to compare my relationship to the next person. I don't want to compare myself to the next person. And that's all social media does. And it's not like I try to out of like purposely, but I mean, we're human. We all do it. So it's not like I purposely do it, but I really used to do stuff like that. And that's why I'm talking like this is some things that a lot of people are guilty of these things. Like, I'm not saying all of us, but a lot of us, we're human. Like, it's okay, but you have to learn from it. That's the whole gag. You got to learn from the shit that you do. Oh, and another one I want to talk about, cheating being normalized. This is another reason why relationships aren't working. This generation is so weird. And I know I keep saying this generation, but it's really our generation. It's weird as fuck. It's like somebody cheating on you is accepted. It's really accepted in this generation. Like, oh, he cheated on me, I'm gonna take him back because you know what, this is the first time he did it. Like, we really have to stop normalizing cheating, because it's disgusting. If somebody cheats on you, they do not love you, they do not value, and they do not respect you. And trust me, if they do it once, they will do it again. I'm a firm believer in once a cheater, always a cheater. There's no way in hell, like, because I feel like loyalty is in you. Like, you can't really teach nobody how to be loyal. It's either you loyal or you're not. It's in you. Like, you can't teach somebody how to be loyal. Like, you should know, like, if you and this person is in a relationship, a committed relationship, and it's just y'all two, and y'all know, like, y'all didn't agree to an open relationship, then there shouldn't be no cheating going on. And if you feel like you need to step out on your partner, then you just need to let that person know. Be real. That's another thing. And people don't be real. It just be too much lying and going on in this generation. If you is not happy, tell that person so you can just move on. Do not stay somewhere where you're unhappy at. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to stop this shit, because if we don't, the next generation after us is going to be worse. And you know, I'm realizing this too, like, the whole baby thing is starting to become normalized. Like, I'm starting to see a lot of girls, like, I ain't even about to talk about that. Like, I ain't even about to talk about that. Not in this video. That's a whole nother video for itself. Cheating is really not, it's really not, no. I don't condone that. You know, you cheat, then you need to be by yourself, period. Why do you feel like you have to cheat on somebody? Do y'all realize how much pain that caused somebody? Like, it really hurts real bad. So like, You have to be mindful of what you're doing to others, like, because the energy you put out, you're going to get back on you. Karma is real. I done had karma happen to me. It's real. Know that. So when you cheat and you think about cheating, make sure you realize that the energy that you put out, you will get back on you. Trust and believe that you will. You have to treat people how you want to be treated. Don't be in a relationship with somebody that you feel like you're not happy with and you're going to cheat on. Just leave that person, because cheating can really harm a person. For real. And that's all I got. Them is the main points where I think that our generation is really lacking, like, in a relationship department. Our egos, it's just, everybody's ego is up here these days. Ego is terrible. Ego, pride, you know, cockiness, options, social media, all of that shit is terrible. Like, it does nothing, especially for relationships. Nothing. When you love somebody, like, you want to genuinely love somebody for them. You don't love people on what they can do for you, because that's transactional. That's not unconditional. If you to love somebody unconditional is love them raw, without money, without, you know what I'm saying, without all of these materialistic things. And that's why love is not really working these days, because everything in our generation is transactional. It's all about what you can do for somebody. And I was guilty of that as well. But I'm pulling myself out of that. I don't want that type of love. We all need to change. We really need to stop doing these things that we're doing, because it's not doing anything for us. And it's only making the kid that we're producing. They're going to come up and they're going to just do the same thing. Like, if you want change, it starts with you. Like, you have to change your ways. You have to start realizing that, holding yourself accountable for your own bullshit. Like, for real. Because I feel like a lot of people don't do that. Like, a lot of these topics people don't talk about because it's them. Like, some of these topics that I just talked about, I'm guilty. Definitely, I'm guilty. I'm holding myself accountable for my bullshit. And you should do the same too, so you can show your children, like, hey, this is not what we're going to do. Don't be like me. You know, instead of trying to seem like you're you're the perfect mom, or you're the perfect person, you don't do no wrong. Hold yourself accountable and tell people the truth. Be honest about, you know what I'm saying? Be honest. Thank you so much for watching this video. And y'all, let me know what you guys think in the comment, like, about anything I said. If you agree, disagree, I want to know. Like, let me know, because this really need to be, this is an open discussion. We all can talk about this, and I'm really curious to see if y'all think the same thing that I think, or I'm tripping, which I know I'm not tripping. Before you go, don't forget to hit that like, comment, and subscribe button on my YouTube channel for more videos from Nick.